As a volunteer, some of the most amazing times have been the kids. I cannot count the number of amazing, self-motivated kids that I've met over the years. One night, I cannot remember which year it was about 20 years ago, with the wind chill, it was -57. I still had 12 kids show up. And there was one little girl, she was a little blonde thing, and she would not come into the shack to warm up. So I finally walked out of the ice, put her underneath my arm, carried her into the shack, and she was furious with me. She said, "You're ruining my hockey night sitting in this shack." She was so upset. But I mean, these kids are amazing. You give them something to do and somewhere to be, and they'll do it. They were brothers. One brother was older, and he was too old to be skating in the younger age group, but he'd never ever skated before, and so I let him skate with the younger age group with his little brother. And the one boy wanted to be a goalie so bad, he wanted to play goal, and my rule always was, if you're going to play goal, you have to get here early because it takes a long time to put your goal equipment on. And these two were always late. And I kept telling them, if you want to play goal, you have to be here early. Then I found out they were walking about 25 or 30 blocks to get to outdoor hockey. When I found that out, I felt really bad. And then I arranged for them to get a ride, and he got to play goalie. He was so happy. I had another little guy who played goal for us. He was 12 years old, and he played goal for both the younger age group and the older age group. He was an amazing kid. He just stood in there and did it all. And the only time I ever saw any adult involved with him was when his uncle came to the rink to yell at him because he hadn't delivered his flyers. I found out later what this little guy had been doing. He'd rush home from school, he would hide his flyers, he would come to hockey, he would play hockey for 4 solid hours, he'd go home, he'd go to bed, he'd set his alarm, and he would get up at 3 or 4 in the morning and rush around and deliver all his flyers so that his uncle wouldn't find out that the flyers hadn't been delivered. I can go on and on with stories like that from these kids.